Atletico Madrid, of course, pulled one back with Hermoso. I mean, the ball basically bounces off him.
Yeah, Courtois' rare mistake.
Yes, Courtois coming out, missing it entirely. And then Hermoso picks up 2 yellows in quick succession. But what I was reminded of, after the goal to make it 2-1, and I think there was, 5-6 minutes to go, maybe a little more, the camera pans to Simeone on the sidelines, and he does this thing that he always does. Like, he goes and he puts his 2 index fingers to the side of his head, saying, "All right, focus, right?" And you just know the message didn't get to Hermoso. That was so needless, the second shove on Carvajal.
No, I mean, you could tell they were getting frustrated before their goal. I mean, there's a few, the Coque on Rodrigo, like barging into him on the touchline, near the touchline was bad. There's one from Witzel as well. So you could tell that there was that frustration in, and then when you score the goal, it's frustration, but it's also hope. Maybe we can get the second now. There's 5 minutes left to go. And then you take it too far and you do that thing and you let your team down, really. And it's just, I think there was the Joao Felix going straight into the dressing room after that. I know he came back out. And
I want to talk about Simeone's choices.
There's a few worries there. I think there's a few concerns.
So he starts Griezmann, which he knows that based on that, let's say, bizarro contract. That,
so you suspect that, you assume that there's an agreement now between Barca and Atletico Madrid, right? Otherwise, you keep playing him half an hour.
No, you don't know the terms of the agreement, right? So it's not, the terms aren't that he can only ever play half an hour.
No, but it's half that they have a minute. So now what? He doesn't play at all the next game to balance it out.
It's entirely possible. Who knows? I don't know the ins and outs. We've only seen different versions of it. Barcelona are disputing the version Atletico has. It's with lawyers. I'm assuming Atletico have lawyers. They have nerds who count minutes to sit there and say, okay, my understanding is that, Atletico at least believe that they can start him a certain number of games this year. And then it's a question of keeping track of the minutes. Anyway, they started him. I thought Griezmann did okay.
Yeah, me too.
But I wasn't sure if a Griezmann-Joao Felix partnership at the expense of Morata was the right choice in this game.
It was wrong, yeah. I agree with you.
I kind of thought a more physical presence, whether, Morata, I think, has been their top scorer this season, Atletico's, or even Mateus Cunha, who, of course, came on later. They kind of give you that profile where you can tie up the central defenders. You're more likely to get something off a set piece. It's not just about kind of running on the counter. Once the game became a possession game, I thought, all right, you got to yank Joao Felix out and do it sooner.
But I also think that if you start them both, Griezmann and Joao Felix, Griezmann is 31 now. He's not going to make the runs in behind. That was never particularly his game, but at least before he could do it.
Well, Joao Felix isn't going to do it even when he's young.
So they're both going to drop to get the ball at their feet to try to play between the line and to try to play away from Militao and Alaba. This is always what they're going to do. So you get basically the same profile. I know they're different players, but quite a similar type of profile of what they're going to give you in that game. So, you can have 50% of the ball and you can try to play and build stuff, but eventually you're right. There's not enough threat, even just physically, in that box, or someone who's going to go to Militao and Alaba and actually cause them problems. I thought it was too easy for Real Madrid for too long in that game for what Atletico had to offer.
For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.